What's up? Welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Monday. Let's start the week off right with some Buckeye football. Hell yes. August 28th, 2023. You know the deal. Oh boy. Where are we going here? Just got home, getting ready for another hurricane. So that's exciting. Not really. But apologies for the lateness. PC's in here first. Love it. Don't be afraid to call in, be heard here. So I just, everything looks good. All right. So yeah, call-in number is pinned to the top of the chat right now. So don't be afraid to call in. You got to use the meeting ID number and then the passcode. I know it's a lot of punching of numbers, but it's worth it. Believe me, you get to talk to me. Billy, yes, there is a game this weekend, more than one actually, which is nice. So, you know what we're talking about today? We're talking about some high school football. There were some huge games this weekend. We ran down the list last week, but wanted to update you guys and get you up to speed on some minor recruiting things. And then, of course, let you know how the future Buckeyes fared in their, most of them were in week 2 of their schedule. Some just were kicking off their first week. So the call-in number and the information is also down in the description below this video if you guys are looking for it. So Buckeye recruiting, we've talked about this. We need a tackle, an edge, a jack, and a safety. Now, we're hearing from Miami insiders that Ohio State is the favorite right now to land Booker Pickett Jr. Apparently, Pickett was waiting all summer to see what Dylan Stewart's decision was going to be, and then start on his recruiting path. So Dylan Stewart committed to South Carolina. We know that. And so the spot is open at Ohio State, and it looks like Booker Pickett is all in. Just need to get him on campus for an official visit, and that should happen quickly over the season, and hopefully a decision before the December signing period. So he doesn't seem like a game player or a kid that's going to continue to drag this out for no reason. But I wouldn't expect a decision anytime till like October, November, and maybe even December at the signing day. So good news. But he's pretty lightweight, man. He's like 210 right now, and he's a sack machine. The dude just gobbles up quarterbacks. He is a beast, but again, because he's so fast and lightweight, right? So Buckeyes obviously will need to put on some pounds, but he could fit in well at that jack role, and that's what Dylan Stewart was being recruited as too. Not a true edge. They were recruiting him as a jack. So Pickett would be a good plan B option. But again, he'll need some development in the weight room, probably for a year or so, to get 30, 40 at least pounds on him. So keep your eyes open for that. I'll keep you updated when he does log his official visit. We also talked about Charles Lester and his possibility of making the unofficial to Columbus. We'll see. I'm not holding out hope on that one, but I love me some Chucky 3 sticks. What else? Brandon Baker, early fall decision between Ohio State and Texas. Jordan Seaton supposedly is scheduling an official visit this fall during the season. And then we saw Saturday that Zaquan Patterson, the safety, committed to Miami. Not a big shock there with Zaquan Patterson, in my opinion, but that's not, when kids commit to Miami, in my opinion, it's not a commitment. It's just holding their spot, so we'll see how that goes. One interesting article I saw on Dominic McKinley, the defensive lineman out of Louisiana. He made an official visit to Columbus. That's his only visit ever. And he had a quote about his decision saying, "My decision is going to surprise people." So what does that mean? Who knows? Does that mean good things for the Buckeyes? I don't know. I'm not convinced that he's an option, but he seems like more of a Texas option, or maybe even staying home and going to Baton Rouge. So we'll see. Bryce West talked about his peer-to-peer recruiting. He said that he's really putting in efforts and time to flip defensive end Marquise Lightfoot, another Miami commit, of course. He said this weekend after his game that I definitely want to get Marquise to flip. That's definitely going to be a big task, and I think it'll be hard, but I think we can do it. So yeah, see how many people can help out with that recruitment. So then let's start on these high school scores. Let me check the chat real quick, see what's going on. I see you, Billy. PC, not sure about a game, more of an ass whooping, this weekend. PC, I'll get to the Lakewood St. Ed's game. Yeah, basically Billy summed it up right there. Yeah, Pickett would be a good one. It is slim pickings, literally. Yeah, Chucky 3 sticks would be nice. So, all right. Well, I'll take half of you, PC. Good half. But yeah, I was late because we have a friend that has a physical therapy clinic in downtown St. Pete, and her shop is all on the first floor, and it's 3 sides of it are windows, like floor to ceiling almost windows, like 6 foot tall windows, and just next to just wrap around the whole thing. So we had to put up these steel shutters. They're like sheet metal. I don't know, could be aluminum. I'm not a metals guy, so could be just sheets of aluminum, but they you have to bolt them to a track that's mounted to the building. It is a nightmare. They're like in sections, maybe 2 feet wide, and you just bolt them to each other and bolt them to the track. Oh man, you talk about labor. God, I haven't worked that hard in decades. But so yes, I appreciate the thought, PC. Hopefully it'll steer, the hurricane will steer a little north of us, and we're not scheduled to get too much, probably some storm surge and all that. But back to the topic at hand. I haven't even had time to have my afternoon coffee yet. That's why I'm a little jittery. Oh, bourbon laced. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's kick it off here. Let's talk San Antonio football. We never talk about San Antonio high school ball. Veterans Memorial, running back James Peoples. He is still out recovering from an injury. I have done a ton of digging. I cannot get any details on what kind of injury this is. So as soon as I hear something, I will let you know. I'm guessing it's probably foot, leg, ankle. I don't know. If Mr. Peoples is listening, hey, could you email me, please? Or I could get you on the show if you want to talk about it. But anyway, Veterans Memorial, they beat Harlandale 42-19 on Thursday. Then Friday, we had our guy, quarterback Air Noland, taking on McEachern in Powder Springs, Georgia. They won. Langston Hughes won 40-9. Air Noland just 8 of 13 for 163 yards and a touchdown. So kind of a quiet night for him. Also, we had Pickering North running back Sam Williams Dixon taking on Gibsonia Pine Richland. Pick North won 35-14. Kind of a quiet night for SWD. He went 10 carries for 54 yards. It was kept somewhat in check this week. Had a couple of touchdown runs in week 1, but they have another stud running back at Pick North there. So it's a matter of keeping the other guy happy sometimes. His name is Michael Taylor. SWD said after the game, everyone's going to have their night. Michael had his night tonight. I had mine last week, so no biggie there. Next up, wide receiver Mylan Graham, the 5-star out of New Haven, Indiana. They were at Fort Wayne. Mylan Graham, they won 36-7. Mylan Graham went six catches, 55 yards, and along of 43 and a touchdown in the victory. St. Louis Christian Brothers, Jeremiah McClellan, wide receiver, took on Carmel. Give me some of that Carmel. They won 55-28. McClellan all over the place in the end zone, often had 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 receiving, and another touchdown called back on a penalty. McClellan is a touchdown machine. I posted some of his highlights here on the YouTube channel. Next up, Max LeBlanc, the tight end, took on safety Jalen McClain as Chattanooga, the Baylor School, took on Seton Hall Prep out of Jersey. Baylor School defeated Seton Hall 42-7. This was in Dublin, Ireland. I did not know that last week. Now I do. Now you do. LeBlanc had a few catches and a touchdown in that win, and a nice free trip to Dublin, Ireland. Who wants some bangers and mash? Next up, we got Cleveland Glenville. They were in Central Ohio, visiting Olentangy Liberty in Powell. Glenville won 34-10. So you had Demarion Witten and DB Bryce West. Witten was flexed out or split wide for most of the snaps he played. Caught a few passes, had a 2-point conversion attempt. He also took care of their kicking duties. And West, once again, was a lockdown corner, also played some safety, saw a few reps on offense, but primarily just catching swing passes out of the backfield. But easy dub for Glenville. New Palestine, Indiana. That's the home of offensive tackle Ian Moore. They took on Decatur Central in Indianapolis. New Palestine lost 43-42. But they did put up over 300 yards rushing. So O-line is moving, dudes. Toledo Central Catholic took on Toledo Whitmer. Mark Nave, he was playing left tackle for Central Catholic. They won 35-8 over Whitmer, and Central Catholic goes to 2-0. Next up, let's go down south to Buford, this is actually in Charlotte, North Carolina. Mallard Creek and Buford. So you got Edric Houston. Buford was held to 93 yards rushing. Rayola only had 12 of 25 passing for 174. KJ Bolden had 3 catches. He goes both ways, so they say, for 3 catches for 64 yards. But Buford also had 3 fumbles as a team. The second half, really, they shut down Mallard. Mallard Creek only managed 4 yards over the last 2 quarters of the game. They were minus 27 rushing and 31 yards passing in the second half. They finished with a total of 114 yards. So safe to say that the Buford D is legit. I put up a highlight of Edric Houston fighting through a double team, getting a 1-arm sack on their quarterback. So check that out if you like. Let's go back up north. Chicago St. Ignatius. That's the home of Justin Scott. They were taking on Chicago St. Patrick, and St. Ignatius won 37-20. They scored 13 points in 19 seconds to beat St. Patrick. They created 3 turnovers during that critical stretch. Let's talk big walnuts. You got some big walnuts here. Anyway, that's the home of linebacker Garrett Stover. They were taking on Upper Arlington, and 4-star linebacker Garrett Stover. They lost 41-14, but even in the loss, he was all over the field with 6.5 tackles, 1 TFL, half a sack, and a tip pass. So good to see him adjusting to that linebacker position after playing safety most of his career. Chandler, Arizona, Basha High School, Miles Lockhart. They were at Mesa Westwood. that was the season opener for Basha. They had a huge 66-7 win over Mesa. Bell Fountain coming back to Central Ohio. Quarterbacks Tavian St. Clair, they were taking on Coldwater. Tavian St. Clair was steady, but they went down 28-25 to Coldwater. He threw 2 touchdowns in the loss. What else here? Oh, St. Thomas Aquinas. This was on ESPN, I believe. They were taking on Bellflower. St. John Bosco out of Bellflower. That was at STA. And St. Thomas Aquinas lost 20-7 to Bosco. Lyle broke off a couple of long runs. I posted one of those here on the YouTube channel, but did not get in the end zone. Next up in South Florida, you got Hollywood, Madonna Prep, wide receiver, best player in this 24 class, Jeremiah Smith, against St. Francis out of Baltimore, Maryland. They defeated St. Francis 35-14. Jeremiah Smith had 2 catches for 19 yards and a touchdown, which I posted here. Winding it down here. Lovejoy High School in Lucas, Texas. Linebacker Peyton Pierce. They were taking on College Station, Texas. And the linebacker opened his season with a massive 50-37 win. Lovejoy was up 43-16 at the half. Wow. So well done. Last one up, back in Ohio, Springfield, Ohio. Aaron Scott was taking on DeMatha at Ironton. Tough loss, 35-7. Defense let 28 points in the first half. So, ouch, not a good first half. Then the coup de grace Sunday, Lakewood St. Ed's, home of the Armstrong Twins. They took on Good Counsel out of Maryland. That was on ESPN. Good Counsel was freaking loaded. You got Dylan Stewart, the South Carolina D-end. You got Darian Mayo, the Clemson D-end / linebacker. Then you got Florida commit Aaron Childs. He's a linebacker at Good Counsel. Plus you got Wisconsin running back Dylan Jones. You got a 2025 defensive back, Fahim Delaney, which the Buckeyes have offered, and he has camped at Ohio State. But Armstrong's looked amazing. Each of them had a couple of pancake blocks. So needless to say, St. Ed's rolled. I didn't catch a final on that. I can find that for you very quickly. St. Ed's rolled 28-7. Yes. So, all right, let's go back to the chat, see what's happening. All right. Rolling back here. Billy says, if we can flip Lightfoot and get McKinley, that would be a great haul, and add Pickett. Yeah. PC says, do those shutters work? Yes, they do, actually. You would be surprised. Let's see. Still got time for a couple calls if you guys want to call in. Billy says, be safe, Joe. Yes, sir, I will. PC says, good show last night. Sorry, I missed it unofficially. My score prediction is 54-14, so 78 total. Gotcha, PC. I will mark that down as soon as we're done. Billy says our future competitor Julian Sane looked impressive. Yeah, that guy he is a legit dual threat quarterback, isn't he? I was impressed too. PC 68 total. I'm glad you corrected me or corrected yourself, because I would have missed that. I have public education math skills as well. Billy says, seems like Air's coach is not giving him a lot of passing opportunities. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kind of receivers they have on the outside. Maybe they don't have a lot to throw to, but Yeah, PC Big Walnut has lost 2 in a row. A little tough for those Stover kids. They don't like that. Billy says those rundowns on our recruits games are great, Joe. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are listening and enjoying. PC says, who's on Coldwater? I thought there were some dudes at that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't name anybody without doing a ton of research as far as Coldwater goes, but they must have somebody on that team, right? They're doing well. Yeah, team from Baltimore. Well, that's not just any team. That's St. Francis Academy, man. They just played. They played Buford last week. Yeah, they got blanked by Buford last week, like 18-0. Yeah, high school teams playing in other states is a real thing. I mean, those Northeast Ohio schools played with teams from Maryland, Kentucky, and Indiana last week. In that they call it Northeast Ohio versus America. Yeah, Billy, I agree. The Armstrong Brothers ratings will be on the rise for sure. All right, PC's got to run. Take care, PC. We'll talk to you. Hopefully see you on Wednesday. Yeah, those Armstrong boys, I was watching that, and I posted some of their highlights. You just run left. That's all you have to do, man. Hand the ball off to the running back. Tell him to run left side of the line. Pick a gap. Doesn't matter. Right behind the Armstrongs is probably a good idea. And they just bowled those people, man. It was impressive. It wasn't impressive. I didn't know they were that good. But yeah, they definitely need to have their ratings rising. That's for sure. But nobody in the waiting room yet, but we have time for a call if somebody wants to squeeze in here under the wire. Got the shit out of my hands from the fucking sheet metal. Jeez. My tissue paper skin. It's not used to handling hard material. Wait, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound good at all. Anyways, so yeah, this week we'll get back into our groove, our normal season schedule. So like got Ryan Day's press conference tomorrow, Tuesday morning, usually about 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And we'll touch on that for Wednesday. We'll give you the highlights from that and any injury updates. Obviously, the quarterback situation is in front of everyone's mind. Does he play 2, or does he dedicate 1 game to each quarterback like Harbaugh did last year with the Michigan Shittigans? And Friday we'll do 5 keys to a Buckeye victory. I'm not sure what we're doing Thursday yet. Tomorrow we're doing, what are we doing? Focus on the safety group. I know we talked a lot about Sonny Styles a few days ago on the Daily Blitz, but tomorrow I want to focus on the rest of the safety group and talk about them and some quotes from Perry Eliano, Jim Knowles, what they see. So, and give you a 2 deep on that room, because they still have a battle going for that adjuster, the deep safety spot, So you got a 3-way battle between Proctor, Jihad Carter, the transfer, and Malik Hartford, the true freshman, for that starting field safety position. So that's a huge interest to me. Billy says, I think Baker is a more natural right tackle, so that would be good when Eric comes. Yeah, that would be good. Ryan naming a QB. I wish he would, man. I wish he would, but I don't know if we might be past that. And maybe he'll do like a first quarter to one guy, second quarter to the other guy. I don't know. I think to go halves doesn't make sense, because what if we're up 4 or 5 touchdowns at the half? You're probably going to hand the ball off most of the second half. That's not fair to the other quarterback. So I'm not sure what the best path is, but I remember Ryan Day saying when he was quarterback in college and was at University of New Hampshire, that he was named the starter before the season, and he had some ups and downs early on. They threw like a bunch of picks, but the coach stuck with him and didn't waver and didn't pull him or, put in another quarterback. It was a competition in between another guy, and the coach went with him and stuck with him. So I got to wonder if that's kind of the way he'll go, make a decision, stick with the guy through thick and thin, even if the guy has some tough sledding, but I really wish he would name a QB. But anyway, well, 5 o'clock, I got a rack. I got a ton of shit to do. I did not plan on spending hours of my day putting up sheet metal. So I got stuff I got to get done. But I appreciate you guys popping in, and don't be afraid to hit that like button. And hopefully we'll get some more calls on Wednesday. We're going to be doing the call in for all the live shows, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Sunday nights. So plan on that and get in here and we'll chop it up. All right. Appreciate you, Billy. Temper. Oh, Temper. Yeah. Good to see you, Temper. But yeah, we'll be doing the calls every live show. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So try and pop in on Wednesday if you can. And we'll talk to you guys later. Go Bucks.